Hello, so today we are doing this weekly contest 117. I'm going to do right now the third problem, get watched videos by your friends. And the problem essentially says that we have n people. Each person has a unique ID that is between 0 and n minus 1. And we get two arrays. The list of watched videos for each person, that is like the ID is the index of the watched video by that person, and same thing an array friends where the ID is the list of friends of that person that has that ID. And so that's essentially what this says. Now we have level 1 of videos, which are videos that are watched by your direct friends, right? And then level 2 videos are videos that are all watched videos by the friends of your friends. So second level friends, the videos of the second level friends. And in general, we have level K of videos that are all watched by people with the shortest path equal to K with you, right? People that have like shortest path from you to them in a as friends, that is equal to K. That's their watched videos are videos of level K. And essentially the problem is we get an ID and a level of videos, and we want to return the list of videos of that level for a person of ID I, right? There is just one distinction is that the ordering has to be done in a way where the frequency of the video, the videos that have more frequency should be first, and then those that have equal frequency should be ordered alphabetically, in increasing order, right? And so essentially the frequency is, let's say you have two friends in some level K that have watched videos A, B, and then the other friend has B, C. So you can see B occur twice, so B should be first in the list of the result, and then A and then C, because those should be ordered alphabetically. So if we look at an example here, we have person at index 0 has friends 1 and 2, so you can see here 0 is connected to 1 and 2. Person at index 1 has friends 0 and 3, like you see here. Person at index 1 has friends 0 and person at index 2, so this one has 0 and 3, and index 3 has 1 and 2. So the graph looks like this. Now the ID is 0 and the level is 1, so we want the direct friends of level 0, right? And so those are 1 and 2, and their watched videos are C and BC. Now you can see, so yeah, level 1 it's 1 and 2, so it's this one and this one. So their frequency increasing, not decreasing. So the ones that have the smallest frequency should be first. And so you can see here that C and BC, C occurred twice, so it should be last, and then B first. And then here, a similar thing, so the graph looks like this. You could map friends to it and see that. And then level 2, so second level, so friends of 0 are 1 and 2. The friends of 1, because we want the second level, friends of 1 are 0 and 3. 0 is the same one, so we ignore it, but 2 it's also 0 and 3, so we have only 3. That's the one we are looking for, and 3 has watched videos D, so we just return D. So we get the idea. So let's see how we can solve this problem. Okay, so how can we solve this problem? So first, let's just make sure we do understand it very well. So we have two things. We have watched videos, right, which is an array, right, and then we have friends. So this is basically the input, and then we have the ID of the person, right? So we have the ID of the person, and we have the level. And essentially what we want from these two is to get videos of watched videos, essentially of friends, that have level K friendship, I will call it. And what level K friendship means is that, so if level 1, that means just direct friends, right? And level 2 would be friends of friends. and level 3 would be friends of friends of friends. So you get the idea. That's how it's kind of a graph of friend, and the first level is the direct neighbors, the second level is the direct neighbors of the neighbors, and you keep going like this, right? And so this is the idea of the person that will look for watched videos of their friends that can be level K, and then we have these two arrays that tell us for each ID what are the watched videos, and for each ID what are their friends, right? And so the first example that we had was like this. We had the input of watched videos that was like something like this, where we have AB, we had C, we had BC, and D, right? So essentially, if we map this, so the ID is 0, so these are the IDs here, and then ID 1, 2, 3, and similar thing for friends, where we would have 1, 2, 0, 3, and 1, 2, 0, 3 again, and then 1, 2. So essentially what this is the friends of the person of ID 0 are 1, 2, person of ID 1 has friends 0, 3, person of ID 2, same thing, and 3, like this. So if we draw the graph for this, we would end up with something like this. So we have position, we have 0, right? Has friends 1 and 2. So has friends 1 and 2. And then 1 has friends 0 and 3. And 2 has friends 0 and 3 also. And 3 has friends 1 and 2, right? And so now the question says, gives us these two, gives us ID equal to 0 and gives us level 1, so direct friends. And so level 1 of friends of 0, friends of 0 are 1 and 2, right? And then level, so these are the friends, and then their watched videos are the watched videos of 1, which are C, and the watched videos of 2, which are BC, right? So now if we map the frequency, so the frequency of watching, because the problem says we need to, so this is, we know the result. Now the problem says we need to sort it by by the frequency of watch, right? And in increasing order. So the smallest, the one that has been watched the smallest number of times should be first. And then if there is a tie, we should sort them alphabetically. So here for C, it has been watched 2 times, for B 1, so that would mean the final result should make B first and then C. So this should be the final result. And so now you get the idea. So you can see here we kind of have 2 parts to this problem. The first part is finding level K friends, right? So this is part 1 of the solution, right? And then we have part 2 here, which is get the watched videos and sort them, right? Sort them by the frequency of watch and then alphabetically, right? So we have 2 parts. So let's see first how we can use the first part. So part 1, which is get friends at level K, right? So you can see here, this is a graph, right? And getting friends at level K is exactly neighbors at level K, right? And this is something that using BFS on a graph can give us right away, right? And so we know that the first step we need to do is just get that. Now the second part, which is once we got the levels at position K, with BFS it would be just the content of the queue once the level K has been reached, right? Now part 2, which is get watched videos, right? And sort them. And so to sort them, we need a map that just a counter, right? That just says how many times each movie has been so map, or a counter in Python to just count how many times it has occurred, and then we can sort using that. And then so we can sort, if let's say we have this thing frequency is the map, then we can just take the watched movies, let's suppose we put them in res, we can just sort them in Python using the key, where the function that will do the sort would use the frequency, right, first as the sort key, and if the frequency is the same, then we can just use the letter itself, or the video itself, the video string itself, right? And that would be pretty much it. Okay, so now let's just code this up and see how it would what it would look like. So essentially the idea is this: BFS, and then the last to get the level, the friends at the level K, and then once we do that, we will just do the map and then sort using get the count and then sort using that count, right? Okay, so now let's just code this up and see how it works. Okay, so now let's code the solution that we just described with the two methods, with the two parts. Okay, so the first part is just BFS to get friends at level K, right? Friends of ID at level K, right? So we need, for BFS, we need a collection, a DQ, sorry. So for that, we need to import collections, and we need a visited set so that we don't visit nodes twice. And for the BFS, we need to start at position ID. I'll just call it I. I prefer I here. And for the visited set, we need to have to add the node that we visited, which is first I. And now, while level is bigger than 0, so we will keep decrementing, which means when it's equal to 0, that would mean we are at level K, right? And so every time we do a level, we decrement level, right? And then now we'll do level by level, right? So we will go through queue, right? So this is the current level in the queue. And so here, let's say for maybe instead, let's just get the size of the queue, right? And then here, well, for let's call it in range of the queue, so we know its size. So now we can just say pop left to get the first element in the queue. Let's call that J. And then we will go get the friends of J and go through them. So those would be friends at level here of J, right? And so we get these, and we'll check if we haven't visited them yet. That means we can add them to the queue now, right? So we'd append it, and then we'd add them to the visited set because we visited them. And then now when we get to here, which means that level is equal to 0, at that point we can sorry, let me just. So here we are at the level K. So Q here at this point contains basically friends at level K, because we reached level 0 starting from K, right? Level was K, and then we kept decrementing until we reached 0. And so here is where we have the friends at level K. So here we can do part 2, right? So this is part 1 that we described in the overview. Now we can do part 2, which is get watched movies of level K friends and sort them in the order that is asked from us. And so first let's just have this array to contain them, and then the friends at level K, we'll go through each of them, and each of them will get the watched videos, right? So we'll need to have a frequency thing that counts how many times a video has been watched. So let's just call it, use this here so that it can default to, the value can default to 0. And here we would have watched videos of that specific friend, and then we would check if we haven't yet added it to the result. We don't want duplicates, remember? So we would add that watched video, right? Sorry, first before doing that, we will just say that it has been watched one more time, right? So at this point we will have the frequency of watch for it, right? And then we'll add it to the result that we will sort later, okay? And now here, actually, so we need to do this here, and then here only add it once. We don't want to add it multiple times to the result, right? And now we can sort our result, right? So we can say res sort by, first the criteria is that by frequency, so in increasing order, and then if the frequency is the same, it's lexicographical. So the way we can do this with Python is just having a key called lambda here with x, and the first criteria for sorting is the frequency, and the second one is just the video name itself, so that it can get sorted lexicographically. And then pretty much after that we can just return res. And that's pretty much it. So let's run. Here it's range of n actually. Okay, so that looks good. There was another test case, so let's do that one. So these are the watched videos, and then friends, ID 0, level 2. Okay, looks good. Let's submit. Okay, so it passes test cases. So yeah, that's pretty much it, the solution for this problem. Just these two portions, and then doing BFS level by level. Yeah, so that's it pretty much for this problem. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.